We begin the practice by finding a comfortable seated position. And if it's there for you, close your eyes. If closing your eyes isn't possible today, then you can leave them open, just have a soft gaze, avoiding a clear focus and instead gazing downward without focusing specifically. If you're sitting in a chair, try to keep your back away from the back of the chair so that your entire spine can be free from any pressure on the back. Assume a comfortable but dignified posture, one in which the spine feels free and long. Imagine that you could be suspended from the top of your head by a string, and that allowed your weight to lengthen your entire spine, creating space between all of the vertebrae. A comfortable, dignified posture is one in which you don't clench or hold yourself rigid, but rather you allow whatever you're sitting on, whether it's a chair or meditation cushion or bench, allow that to provide support and grounding that allows your spine to be long and your posture to be erect and dignified without having to clench or be rigid. If sitting on a chair, your feet should be flat on the floor, then you can probably feel your sits bones on the seat of the chair. If sitting on a cushion or on a meditation bench, your feet will likely be crossed. You can place your palms on your thighs or hold them in your lap without crossing your fingers or clenching. Take note of all of the sensations in your body one at a time. So you might start with your feet and feel, how do they feel placed on the floor? Do you sense heat or cold, pressure, moisture, tingling? It's okay if you don't feel anything. There isn't a right or wrong way of feeling. Just notice the sensations in your feet as you sit. If your legs are crossed and you're sitting on a meditation bench or a cushion, you might notice the pressure of your calves or your shins either on one another or on the floor. You might notice friction between different parts of the skin, and if they're rubbing on something. And continue to notice feelings or sensations in your thighs, in your hamstrings, in your seat, in your torso, in your neck, in your face, in your jaw, on the top of your head. Sensations might arise in any place in the body, especially if you're experiencing pain or an itch. Those things tend to desire our attention, try to distract us, to focus on them. Instead of scratching an itch, it's better to observe and just notice that the itch is present without focusing on it. If you feel pain or discomfort, notice that you feel it. But as long as it's not excruciating or debilitating, just notice that it's there rather than judging it or letting it distract you and focusing on it. If you do experience pain that's not tolerable, of course, adjust your position to gain some relief. Once you've taken stock of the feelings throughout your body, the different sensations you notice, focus your attention on the breath. It's best if you pick a single location to notice the sensations of the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. You might notice that you feel the breath, or you most notice the breath at your nostrils. You feel the air moving in and out of your nostrils and the friction that's there between the air and your skin. You might notice the breath most in your chest or in your diaphragm. How they expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. You might notice the breath more in your lower abdomen, your belly. Again, noting the sensations of expansion and contraction in the belly as you breathe in and breathe out. There's no need to control the breath, to breathe more slowly or more quickly. Just breathe naturally and notice how it feels. Notice how the body feels when you breathe in and breathe out. You might also notice there's a brief but distinct pause at the end of an in-breath before you exhale. And then at the end of the exhale before you take another in-breath. Try to notice all of those things as you breathe in and breathe out. Expansion and contraction, pauses, or the air moving in through your nostrils, wherever you've decided to focus. You might notice that your mind has wandered. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just what minds do. When you've noticed that your mind has wandered, make a quick note of where it went, what you were thinking about. And then let that thought go and redirect your attention to focus on the breath. It's not a failure if your mind wanders. Don't scold yourself. Minds like to be active, and they will naturally want to wander. When you notice that your mind has wandered, take a note of where it went and what you were thinking about. And then redirect your attention back to the breath. The breath is always present. It serves as an anchor to ground us in the present moment, to bring us back when we find ourselves getting stressed or ruminating and being overwhelmed by a train of thoughts. When that happens, remind yourself that the breath is there to give you focus and bring you back to the present moment. Now I invite you to call to mind someone you care deeply about, a partner, relative, good friend. It would be helpful if that person is currently experiencing some sort of suffering. We're going to practice compassion or karuna by calling that person to mind and offering tenderness or compassion to them. Have a clear image of that person in your mind and going to make 3 offerings of compassion to them. And the first is, I see you. And the second one is, I care about you. And the third one is, may your suffering end. So as you picture this person you care deeply about, picture them clearly in your mind and make those offerings to them. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end. And after each phrase, pause and just notice if you feel anything inside. If you notice any different sensations arising as you picture your close friend or spouse, relative who is suffering, and offer each one of those phrases. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end. You can repeat each phrase and then pause and noticing sensations several times if you like. Now I invite you to call to mind someone you're having difficulty with. Not your most difficult person, but someone with whom you've had a negative interaction recently. Notice how it makes you feel when you call that person to mind. Do you notice any difference in your body? I invite you to recall that even though this person may be difficult for you, they are a person. They are managing this difficult situation we find ourselves in, just like you are. So now, offering this difficult person compassion by repeating the same three phrases. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end. And again, pause after you say each phrase and notice any different body sensations. And you can repeat these three phrases and the pauses and noticing several times if you like. Now you can let the image of the difficult person for you move into the background. And I invite you to have a clear picture of yourself in your mind. And whether you're focusing on your current state, you're not feeling great, or if you can think back to a time when things were challenging or more challenging for you, please offer yourself compassion by repeating the three phrases. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end. And after each phrase, pause and notice any feelings or sensations in your body as you offer compassion to yourself. You can repeat the 3 phrases with a pause and noticing several times if you like. Now you can let the image of yourself fade to the background. And I invite you to bring to mind all living beings, everyone in the world who may be suffering. And offer them compassion by repeating the 3 phrases. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end. You can pause after you say each phrase and notice if you feel anything in your body. If there are any new sensations. And you can repeat this several times if you like. Now, as you let the image in your mind of all beings fade into the background, return to focus your attention on the breath. Noticing the inhale and exhale, and how it feels in your body, the expansion and contraction. Now I offer my compassion for all of you as we together navigate this challenging time. I see you. I care about you. May your suffering end.